I woke up this morning, missing those happy days that I had with you. And it's making me feel kind of blue.
I cannot go on this way, living is empty. Rather it sets me beneath the live without you in my life.
Come on, send me be real. Olólùfẹ́ mi, ìwọ lẹni ọkàn mi yàn, ìkúrọ̀ lálábàkú ẹwà. As the deer panted for the waters, so my soul longed after you, yeah, 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 yeah. Mo ṣàfẹ́ rí rẹ, mo ṣàfẹ́ rí rẹ, mo ṣàfẹ́ rí rẹ.
Once again, this is Versus Creative Studios. My name is Ojo Oyeyemi. I'm the anchor of the show, Early Morning Tonic Show. And today we want to exemplify this search in scripture. We're going to take a look into the scriptures. The Bible is the word of God. It's powerful. It contains words of wisdom, words of strength, words of admonition, words of correction, words of reproof, words we can always hold on to, words that get us towards achieving our lifetime aspirations, as much as we can always rely on the word of God, which is in all contains all the words that we can always look for out there. If we want to go out there, looking for what? Looking for anything, we're going to meet people. Such people those vessels that God uses to achieve. Sometimes to achieve his wishes as much as his hopes. But they also depend on God for their own survival. They also have feelings, as like we have doctors, we have engineers as well as we have artists. They all have feelings. Such a doctor, you go to see a doctor, like you have to see a doctor. Sometimes if you have a headache, you may need to see a doctor, and with the doctor, and the doctor is supposed to stay all through the night when others are sleeping. Why others are sleeping, maybe why others are in the comfort room, why others are in the convenience of their room. And so you find out the doctor's the job, the profession, the calling of the doctor compels him or her to share some of his conveniences for just to make other people's life meaningful, or other people's life well and healthy. He or she has to be awake on call. He or she has to receive calls when it is oftentimes inconvenient, when sometimes it's avoidable, and it is optional to be a doctor, and not everyone can be a doctor. One has to be a super mind, a super retentive mind that can assimilate information, complexity, and break down complexity and simplicity. Simply that it can be a recurrence of application. In terms of you have to understand so many complex things as much as we need to understand the anatomy, not just anatomy, and so many things, as much as anything that relates to human physiology or human anatomy. So it is important for us to be able to know what it takes to be a doctor. And a doctor has to understand how to apply certain things, certain lessons, a lot of other things. Being a doctor goes beyond learning biology, making an A. What can you make in biology? So being a doctor goes beyond making 6 A's in WAEC or 7 A's in WAEC out of 9 subjects. Making being a doctor goes beyond making 6 A's, 7 A's. As much as it also takes your level of determination, as much as level of commitment. It takes your passion for the job, for the calling, for the profession. The profession is very attractive, but when you start, when the chips are done, you find yourself, let's say, in the theater room, and you find yourself maybe left to yourself, and sometimes, and quite too often, you find it really hard and difficult to comprehend why you eventually found yourself in the theater room, and you begin to see, sometimes you begin to see a lot of things that might be irritating to you, that might not even appeal to you. You begin to doctors treat sick people, and you know the kind of people we become. We turn out to become as humans, as we turn out to become when we fall sick, or we seem to be ill. So you know what the kind of the kind of attitude, the kind of reactions, or some of the things we make doctors witness day in, day out. And sometimes all this may seem incomprehensible, and the reality of the profession begins to unfold each time you're out of the medical school. You know, all the clinicals, all the excitement with your colleagues, your fellow colleagues in the medical school, they kept you moving, they kept you going, and you are all excited. Maybe with the practicals, with the experiments, with some of the things. Some of the asmanships, and some of the things you went through around the medical school, and you maybe sometimes you felt a little down. Sometimes you felt, let me discontinue this profession as much as this course, and you felt you should just choose the alternative you had in mind, and someone keeps you moving, and you're out there, and each day you get to maybe he's sitting, you have your customers or your clients. Who are your clients? And you have what? You have sick people. You know what sick people, as I said, what sick people could be. And sick people, they can manifest so many, maybe, unpleasant traits. And life, when we daily face unpleasantness in terms of illness, in terms of sickness, so is not our portion in the mighty name of Jesus. And so we have your daily complaints that are not ours, burdens that are not necessarily ours, and we have to, maybe some way we are compelled to make to effect to just to make such situations, such lives, back to life and working. And you can imagine, if you take a look around us, we just need to have a art of appreciation, a art that is elevating beyond depression, because you can always find all around us things that get us depressed, and we always see today is what battle, have a battle of depression, and people exchange depression for a way out of depression to another way into depression. And when we say this in this in social circle, you find out what people think. People think you're not really socializing enough. You're always by yourself. You don't share your burdens. You don't share all your troubles. You don't have someone you can always maybe call a friend, as much as someone you can confide in, someone that you can maybe talk out or share your problems with. And you find out those people that are meant to be as urge, those they're meant to be your confidant. Those people that are meant to be there for you. Those people that you can place your head on their shoulders. Those people that are meant to be there for you might be your source, the very source of maybe further depression, as much as they eventually make you feel less worthy of being a friend, or less worthy of being who you think you should be to them. And they end up exposing your privacy, as much as they let out those vital, well kept pieces of your privacy to people, to the public, and they become what the public trade. in pursuance of their own selfish gains, as much as it become a trade as much as the battle goes on, and when a trade as much as your own sense of as far as I'm concerned. Let's say we have a medical report from a section of a hospital, and let's say you have the dispensary, you have let's say you have what have you, you have maybe where the doctor attends to you and all that, and you find out some of the things, some of your medical history and all that, and which is legally, let's say lawfully or professionally, as far as concerned, as hypocrite oath is concerned. As far as I know, the oath is it makes doctor to be compelled to in a way to or embrace empathy. A doctor is meant to empathize with his patients as much as not emotionally talk to his patients. Should be able to get his patients as much as without compromise. Such pieces of information not filter out of a clinic, it is illegal, and it shouldn't be something people out there should make a trade, like a trade that they share around in getting within their own sense of interest or sentiments. So you can see the complexity of being a doctor. A doctor also has his or her own feelings. A doctor has his or her own feelings. He has emotions such as his or our own clients, as we have what we have sick people. Do you call it sick people? They're not sick, but temporarily, some things need to be corrected. So now we have the doctors also have feelings, as much as they can be angry, they can be annoyed, they can be irritated. They also sometimes can be irritable, as much as they can be infuriated, and sometimes they can also have ambitions. They can have ambitions. Sometimes they can feel like, oh, this is suitable for me. This isn't suitable for me, and all that and all that. They also battle with all these. I mean, they have their clients as much as coming to visit them, as much as what you have. They play the role, which is rare for rarely found among people, because most of us run away from this because we can't pick up this challenge. So if you have the grace to have a doctor, as you have a doctor who does his work with all professionalism, without compromise, without any sort of negligence, it is important for us to embrace them and support them and pray for them if we can, and give them words of encouragement where they are erring, where they are getting it wrong. We should always let them, maybe in a subtle way, let them realize the need for them to retrace back their steps, remember their first love for the job, the first love for the job, the first what made them pick up the course of pre-profession as a career. So it's important for us to let our doctors appreciate who they are, because they are like they are chosen. They're chosen, and if someone is chosen, they rarely give in. They shouldn't be merely driven by money alone, because they are saving lives. Doctors are lifesavers. Doctors they save lives, and they keeps us alive, not by their own strength or their own intelligence or their own knowledge alone, or dexterity efforts alone, but with the grace, manifestation of God's grace through them. They are like vessels. Like everyone can be a vessel to a solution. As such, doctors offer health solutions or healthcare solutions, and we have other solutions out there. As Christians of today, there are so many solutions out there we can explore to meet our daily challenges, because every day comes with a lot of its own peculiarity, as much as challenges. So we need grace more than our own thinking, more than our own strength, more than our own knowledge, more than our own understanding, more than people in our network, more than whatever we think or we have in mind that keeps us doing what we should be doing. We need to let our thinking be aligned towards appreciating God for each day mercy, each day grace. So when we are looking for solutions, we look for solutions from where it's always available, and anywhere we can always and we can always find the solution with the solutions that you can place against the law, against the constitution. It keeps us together. It makes us humans. It's the constitution. It makes us not animals. Because it makes us what? It makes us citizens of a country, as of this country. The constitution. It makes what is right from what is wrong. It makes us know when we are breaching other people's rights, or when we are not following. So when we align all this together, we able to see the Bible establishes the scriptures establish that it is meant to come. It's meant to the scriptures. The scriptures make us realize that it's not against the law. It's just to fulfill the law, because the law is fulfilled in the scriptures, and the earth is held in the word, and all so many other things are. And before we were born, before we ever imagined, so many things were already made through the scriptures, and as we have it today, things, hundreds of things, unlimited things, more than our imagination, can all be seen through the word, which keeps the earth together. As much as we have human understandings, as much as I have human inclinations, as much as I have all tendencies and situations that can make us do whatever we need to do, all things, humans, both seen and unseen, can be found. They find their basis in the scriptures. As I stand as I here this morning, it's by God's grace I'm here. It's by God's grace. It's by His grace. As you see, doctors, they go to meet them. It's grace that keeps them. It's God's grace that keeps them doing what they're doing, waking up in the middle of the night and leaving their room for their clinic or hospital. Imagine how much of money can we pay them? How much of money can we pay them? Imagine during the pandemic lockdown. Imagine what we went through. The lockdown, we were able to show our oneness as a race. We were able to show our sense of togetherness, sense of unity as a people. Imagine what imagine the mountain we leveled during the lockdown. Imagine how mountains we moved. All things that seemed impossible for us to achieve, that we were able to achieve during the lockdown. Imagine how little, how negligible it seemed that what kept us scatter. Imagine how it seemed, how simple, and how unreasonable it seemed. To know a little of that thing is kept us indoors, and a lot of things. Life changed. We went out of the old normal thinking to a new normal thinking. In the social circles, we call the new normal. So in life changes over time, and situations change, and people change. People grow out of their own way, out of some of the things that we used to know about, or we used to know about them. People grow out of their old selves. Some grow out of their bad nature to good and better nature. Some grew, let's say, out of their good nature, good attitude, good character. We used to know that in secondary school, in primary school, we used to know someone as someone who is responsible, someone who is diligent. Such individuals might turn out years later, to be what? To be emotionally restless. To be emotionally restless. As such, can do anything to get anything out of anything that is emotional. So we begin to wonder, such a smart boy, he used to be such a smart girl or lady. She used to be. She's not manifesting years ago. She's not manifesting some traces of what? Maybe in the fourth dimension. Some traces of what? In the fourth dimension, sexual restlessness, as I can comprehend, as people can comprehend, as there are no pranks about this. I think there are no games to play about this. So, or in the fourth dimension, you have someone who is manifesting some sense of stupidity or foolhardiness. Someone in the fourth dimension manifesting some traces of insanity, because this can be traced to, what can we see? Let's say someone you used to know, someone you used to seem to portray him or herself as someone who is appreciable, and if we later found out the amount of desperation, he or she could display in making me or herself happy, or doing things that seem maybe meaningless, things that are trivial, things that can be sorted out with all senses of what? Of speaking, of knowing what to do, like talking, like what? Writing, like what? Setting the record straight, or like seeking for what? For forgiveness, asking for forgiveness. And so many things that a lot of complex things happen around us, and you find out in the fourth dimension, or so many things happen. So in the fourth dimension, doctors also they also sometimes participate in this fourth dimensional part of us or aspects of us, and as far as I know, as far as I'm concerned, they also have a way of managing themselves and such. And we all professionals, and we all solution providers in different nomenclatures, and our callings, our occupations, our vocations, our means of livelihood. Some way is attached to our efforts towards providing solutions. When you provide solutions, you know what happens. The implication of a solution, maybe how unavoidable, how necessary, how important, the quality of efforts we make, the assertion we give into our work, and this often we can see. This often makes people to know where to pitch the tent, where to really pitch the tent on. And we find out students in school today might not really know what it takes to be a doctor. A doctor can also be angry, but he or she has to overcome anger. A doctor can also be jealous. A doctor can also desire to be glorious as much as being outstanding and excellent. These are interpretations that come from emotions, expressions of who we think we should be, not our profession. We should be able to separate our professions from a personal way of living. I think I have some fears here, because I don't know what medicine is really all about. But a little of education I have, I think I can take a further look into a few things as far as I know. But this is not my profession. My profession is different from me.
Adetimora fellas, you know my pain, you know my pain. Jesus Christ ni mo bade fun, is the reason you're coming back to God. Ganja, olori yoko ni mo bade, I'm the reason you say you know the drugs. Oye mi shoye, but Jesus gon ni big deal. If you listen, you would see what you're missing is right here. Yeah. But you want more. àti rí adìyẹ. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ wa o. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ àti rí adìyẹ. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ wa o. Jésù ní ó fẹ́ wá fọwọ́ fọlá, ó fẹ́ wá fún yèjú gbogbo wọn lọ. Ó fẹ́ wá fún yèjú gbogbo wọn lọ. Jésù ní ó fẹ́ wá fọwọ́ fọlá, ó fẹ́ wá fún yèjú gbogbo wọn lọ. In that dark, I'm sure we can live. In that dark, to the place glory. We can live, we can live, we can live to the place glory. To the place glory. To the place glory. To the place glory. Glory. Wọ́n ní káwọn ọmọ wa má ṣẹ́wó mọ́, kán má jalè, kán má dé carry gun. Wọ́n ní káwọn ọmọ wa má ṣẹ́wó mọ́, kán má jalè, kán má dé para wọn. But they tear away their dignity, stealing opportunities. Ọmọ wa ṣàdẹ̀jẹ̀. What they take is why we're languishing. Youths done the 419. Ọmọ wa ṣàdẹ̀jẹ̀. They don't really care about us, but that's still news. Dọ́jọ́ ẹni bá létí jẹ́ ó gbọ́. What we're missing is right here. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́, àti rí adìyẹ. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ wá. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́, àti rí adìyẹ. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ wá. Jésù ní ó fẹ́ wá fọwọ́ fọlá, ó fẹ́ wá fún yèjú gbogbo wọn lọ. Ó fẹ́ wá fún yèjú gbogbo wọn lọ. Jésù ní ó fẹ́ wá fọwọ́ fọlá, ó fẹ́ wá fún yèjú gbogbo wọn lọ. I'm sure we can beyond that. His glory. And not that His glory. We can live, we can live, we can live to His glory.